Hello, everyone. Sorry, I've been absent for the last couple of days. I've been really fucking ragey for the last 2 days. I couldn't think of anything positive to say. So my mother always told me if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I've just stayed clear of the old Facebook vids. Anyway, so I did, though, give me a bit of a chance to think about some stuff that I wanted to talk on, which is pertaining to my weekend that's coming up. And that is about spending, or the importance of spending, quality time with your partner. And Kyle and I are away on a weekend. So we've just come into the city to hang out because we've got a show on tonight. And it was our 12-year wedding anniversary a couple of weeks ago. And so we've booked a whole weekend away. So thanks firstly to my sister and Kyle's mum for having the kids, you absolute bunch of legends, and giving us a chance to do it. But I was really wanting to just kind of give my view and talk about how important it is to invest in your relationship with your partner, whether you've got kids or whether you work a lot. Either way, it's a particularly important thing to do. And, I don't necessarily think that it's about having, to spend every minute invested in them, because particularly if I speak about my own experience, we have 3 kids. I work some pretty full-on jobs sometimes, and it's a bit hectic. Kyle's a bit the same. And so, trying to find time that works for us, though, is really important, because I think what's super easy to do is actually just to let it slip, as the relationship or the marriage or whatever it is kind of the given thing and doesn't require work, energy and effort. And you tend to shift all of that into either the work that's paying you, if it's work that's taking your attention, or in the children that you've bred into this world, if it's them that's paying all the attention. But at the end of the day, when the work is gone and the kids are gone, it's kind of all you're left with, right? Is you and your partner in this relationship that you need to sustain, and it's particularly important. So I just wanted to kind of run through some of my tidbits and the things. Kyle and I have been married for 12 years. We've been together for 15, and most of that has been the most incredible experience. I think the very first thing about being in a relationship and investing in your partner is you have to like them, right? And I know that seems really odd, but I think a relationship to be successful can't be one of convenience. You actually genuinely have to really like that person, to the point where if you weren't married to them, that you'd actually choose to hang out with them. And if there ever comes a day where Kyle and I aren't married, I reckon I'd still choose to hang out with him, because he's a ripping bloke. The other things I think are important is spending quality time with your partner. And what I mean by that is this little weekends away, or even just going out for dinner, date nights. We did that a little while back, where we used to just go out on a date night. It was actually part of the Barefoot Investor, because he recommended it. And we used to go out once a week. And again, Rose would have the kids for us, which was super helpful and really awesome. Understanding, or at least being interested in how each other's day's been. So, being communicative and being open, really honest, serves us particularly well. So being able to talk about your feelings, and if they're shitting you off, again, full disclosure, I'm an open book. Yesterday I lost my mind, partially because I was cranky, partially just because Kyle was really shitting me off. And but being able to tell him the reasons why he was infuriating me and the behaviour that was contributing to me being really angry, and something that he was doing that was particularly fueling my anxiety. And we just had that conversation. And then, later that night we kind of chilled out, and I said to him, I'm sorry for being such a cow. And he was kind of really cool. But I think that's the other trick, right? Apologising if you've done something wrong on both sides of the fence. So not just kind of, being wretched or not doing the right thing and then not apologising for it. Even though you do feel sorry, it kind of comes back to that communication side. The other thing is about equality, and I'm really big on this. So, Kyle and I have had a relationship whereby he's really supported, encouraged, and more often than not pushed me to do the things that I want to do, particularly from a career perspective. And he's, spent a lot of time While I've gone chasing my career dreams and working my guts out, he spent a lot of time supporting me from home, cooking dinners, keeping the house tidy, getting the kids in order, and probably doing the opposite of what a typical societal relationship, rightly or wrongly, says should be done. And I'm really appreciative of that, because he's allowed me as a person to grow and flourish and all of those things, which is great. But I think it's also about being equal, because what happens when you're equal, and I'll often say to him, you bred these humans just like I did. You chose this house just like I did. You're responsible for at least 50% of our existence. It doesn't weigh more heavily on one of us or the other. And I think what that does is it stops a huge level of resentment, because if both of you get to be communicative and get to open up about what's important to you, and equally so get to kind of follow your dreams and follow your passions or whatever it is, then it means that you don't get resentful at the other person. So, you've got maybe in some instances husbands that are being resentful because their wives get to spend more time with their kids. You've got wives being resentful because husbands get to get out of the house and, don't have to hang around these annoying little humans all day. You've got, lots of stuff that happens. There's money stuff that goes on where one partner earns more money than the other partner. And so it's a lot of complexity and shit in a relationship that needs a lot of work. But look, little weekends like this away are super important. Actually paying attention to what it is that your partner wants and needs and how they feel loved and all of those things. It just is a lot of work, but it's really worth it and super important. So with that, I'm going to be out for the whole weekend. I'm not going to be on here. I'm going to be investing in my relationship and my time. We're going to be tourists in the city of Adelaide, having a cracking time, going to the art gallery and probably sussing out the museum, and we're going to go suss out a mate of ours pottery showcase that he's got here in the city, and eat Dumpling King and probably eat ice cream and have a wonderful time. So anyway, some food for thought for you guys. I hope you got a little bit out of it, and if nothing else this weekend, just maybe make a little bit of effort to spend some time with your partner and show them how much you love them and how much they mean to you. Okay, gotcha.